All right, ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages, it's that time once again. It's time for Mild's Culture Plate. I am your host, Mild Kevin Miles. I can stop sharing that now. I'm your host, Mild Kevin Miles, and it is Saturday, May 25th, 2024. It's 6 o'clock p.m. Central, and you're locked in to Mild's Culture Plate. Today, we're going to be talking about quite a few topics. We're going to be talking about tipping. We're going to be talking about Hunter Biden. But yeah, the video you just saw, I felt it was relevant to talk about because that's going viral. We got Sanglant. I clicked the wrong thing. We got Sanglant86 in the chat over on Rumble saying Mild's new toy. Cheers, brother. No, it's definitely not my toy. I'm not into that kind of stuff, but I do find it quite interesting how often women will say men will bang anything, men will screw anything, and then of course, then you have that. It looks like we are live on Facebook. We are live on Twitch. I'm just making sure we're live on all the platforms here. Okay. Make sure it's not streaming to my personal Facebook here. I'm still kind of learning Rumble Studio and all of its ins and outs and all of these platforms that I'm streaming on. So I just wanted to make sure I'm not doing anything super crazy. Oh Lord, we have Fifi Gigantor over on Rumble asking my thoughts on Nick Rekieta. I covered a lot of this yesterday, both on my stream and then I was on Cool Frog's channel late last night. And I'll do a quick recap. Normally on my stream, I do a little drinking of the whiskey. I want to reiterate that out of respect to the sensitivity of this issue and the fact that most of my audience comes from his audience and the craziness we all witnessed on Monday, I am refraining from drinking any whiskey at least until further notice. It's not going to be a permanent change. It's definitely an important part of my stream. It's definitely something I like to do, for a little bit of fun with my chat. But yeah, and for now, yeah, just I'm cheersing you with water here. Cheers, good having you by. But my thoughts on the Ricada situation. It's very unfortunate. It is a very unfortunate situation. Um, Ultimately, I think the unfortunate part was I even did a couple of shows on my stream about a year ago or longer, kind of defending Nick Ricada in his endless battle with the stalkers on kiwi farms, so to speak. I don't want to call them stalkers, but the obsessed people on kiwi farms. I tried to help run a little nose guarding because at least in my participation of the chaos that was going on in the locals and in Nick Ricada's community, uh, there was the possibility that some things could have been innocent. And I think the things that have been revealed to us through the confessions made on the Steel Toe Morning Show by Aaron Imholt and the subsequent raid on the Ricada home and the unfortunate situation that those children were placed in, that even their pastor felt the need to call for help. It is a very unfortunate situation, and addiction's a motherfucker. And there seems to be like three camps right now. I think the prevailing narrative right now is that Nick needs to hurry up and get back to streaming and make some money for his family and take care of his kids and blah blah blah. I personally have dealt with addiction. I personally have dealt with my own addiction, and I've dealt with trying to get people help. And honestly, I don't know that that is a good idea. Yes, he doesn't. He probably needs money. I mean, I know the situation with Montegraph has to be a crazy monetary sinkhole, and then this current situation, uh, he's going to need money to fight if he plans on fighting. But ultimately, hey, we got Shut Up I Can Cook over on YouTube. Cheers and welcome. Good seeing you there, Cookie. Yeah, Cookie says God bless Nick. Um, it's a terrifying situation because I think all of us want Nick to get healthy. And it does take a lot of willpower to do that. When you're addicted to substances like, cocaine, whiskey, ketamine, getting clean is an important thing. And getting clean requires removing a lot of stress factors from your life. And if you're stressed to the point where you've got to maintain a schedule, where you have to go to work, where you have to make money, where you have to interact with people online who just saw one of the worst moments of your life, that's a lot of stress. And people who can't handle stress will turn to their addictions. And honestly, I'm wondering if, my personal opinion is I don't know if if he can fight the charges. You know, when you have a police officer finding that much of an illegal substance in your home, there's not really much you can do to fight it except for maybe just shut everything down and go get some help and hope the judge has mercy on you for your willingness to recognize your problem and go get some help and taking responsibility for your actions. But other people, their opinion is he should shut up, never talk about it again, and go back to streaming and talk about the law. I don't know if I don't know. I don't see that being very healthy. Cookie says my profession was until recent helping people with all kinds of problems, mental health, drugs, homelessness, etc. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that's an interesting profession, Cookie. A lot of respect for you. I definitely encounter a lot of mentally unhealthy people in my daily interactions with the public, but I never have to actually help them solve their problems. So it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. And yeah, I am praying for the Ricada family. Fifi says addiction's definitely a bitch. Not yet 40, and I've already done 2 stints in rehab, so I'm not coming at Nick from a place of judgment. Yeah, I'm not trying to judge him either. I'm just saying that to me that would seem like the better option of the three. But whatever works for Nick will work for Nick, and I'm definitely not him, and he's not me. So yeah, prayer works. Nick will be fine. Amen. Yeah. Okay, so getting on with the topics of the day. Sorry. Uh, Getting on with the topics of the day. We have this article came out on CBS News, and I've noticed there are a lot of left wingers all over Twitter that saw this headline and decided to use it as some sort of own at the right wing. Like, oh, you know, people wasn't going to vote for Biden because of their position on illegal immigrants. But look, immigration's down. Okay, but that's not true. This is at the U.S. Mexico border crossing, the Eagle Pass crossing that Texas has already secured. Hey, no problem, Fifi. I'm always willing to. I'm always willing to have a conversation with anyone. I'm always willing to bring up a topic, talk about anything, anything that the chat wants to talk about. I'm pretty flexible on. But now that Texas has secured the Eagle Pass crossing, of course it's going to plunge, right? This isn't Biden's doing. And this gets into Mayorkas and Biden and blah, 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 blah. It's all pointless because we already know the United States government is processing them in South America and flying them across the border. Yeah, Cookie, immigration is not down. We got Kevin and ABQ. Soviets never counted unemployment. No one was unemployed in the Soviet Union. Yeah. Yeah, when you can just fudge the statistics, everything's just fine. Um anyway, speaking of Joe Biden, there was apparently a hearing in the Hunter Biden case yesterday, and we're going to look a little bit into that. So this is from Axios. Biden's Justice Department keeps airing his family's dirty laundry. There's going to be a little bit about the hearing yesterday in this. Details of the Biden family keep being made public by the president's own Justice Department. Uh, Legal experts argue that the level of personal details in the filings ahead of Biden's criminal trials are meant to embarrass rather than prosecute, a feeling shared by many close to the family. Revelations are painful. Hunter's ex wife Kathleen wrote in her memoir when instructing her mother not to reveal Beau Biden was sick. After 20 years with the Bidens, I knew that everything in the family was meant to stay private. In the court filings, Special counsel's office said the upcoming trial would include materials from Hunter's divorce, text messages with family members, including his daughter, pictures and video of him smoking crack, receipts and money spent on clothes and women, tax documents from London Roberts, a woman whom he had a child with and then denied he was the father. Yes, the federal government should be protecting the borders, Cookie. Sangla says Trump, importing future voters. At the very least, importing a voter base that would increase their seats in Congress. The trial set for June 3rd about lying about his drug use on a gun form will include testimony from Buell, his ex-wife, his sister-in-law, and ex-partner Haley Biden, and potentially Roberts, according to the filings. Weiss also includes texts from Hunter at the depths of his addiction around the time he is accused of purchasing a gun and claiming he was not an addict. One filing on May 20th includes a text message Hunter sent to Hallie on November 3rd, 2018. I'm a liar and a thief and a blamer and a user, and I'm delusional and an addict, unlike beyond and above all other addicts you know, and I've ruined every relationship I've ever cherished. Between the lines, Barbara McQuaid, attorney and law professor at the University of Michigan, told the Washington Post that the filings were odd. Weiss wanted to pressure Biden. He could have shared all this information with the Biden's attorneys without filing it on a public document. Not sure what he's accomplishing by filing it publicly other than perhaps prompting the witness to urge Biden to plead guilty. I'm going to call bullshit on this because like half of the reason for this hearing was to determine what could come in and what had to stay out, right? This is kind of a pre-voir dire kind of thing. Um, they so some of this, let's see, and of course this article doesn't have it. They did say that they weren't allowed to talk about some of Hunter Biden's other issues, like the laptop, uh, and some of the dealings. Yeah, here we go. Weiss's office said this week. Okay, so he did say. I don't know. The other article I read was confusing. Weiss's office wrote in a filing that the laptop was real, contains evidence of guilt. Hunter's team challenged the authenticity of data extracted from the laptop and is expected to do so during the trial. Okay, so this is a different thing then. Okay, this isn't the same thing. My bad. You know what? I'm gonna move on because this whole thing. I read another article that said literally the opposite, and these articles are both worded real fucked up. I don't know what's going on here. I'll have to research more, and I may bring this back up on Wednesday's show, or maybe on Monday's show. I'm going to be doing a show on Monday, by the way. Swap out everything they're bitching about and replace it with nude calls to the kid. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about fast food. We got from the New York Post. A couple weeks ago, we talked about McDonald's going to be doing a $5 meal deal. Burger King has decided they want to beat McDonald's to the punch. Burger King's deal would include the choice of one of three sandwiches plus nuggets, fries, and a drink. So basically the same deal. They're calling it the $5 Your Way meal. They're also testing two other value platforms that could be ready in the second half of the year. So again, inflation, everyone is looking with the crazy inflation, everyone is looking to catch people's need to save money. But also from the New York Post, speaking of fast food. Oh, clicked the wrong button. I'll get the hang of this pretty soon. Sorry, sorry for the unprofessionalism. It's been a while since I've used Rumble Studio. I've been using StreamYard and getting used to this streaming on 6 platforms, and all the buttons and bells and whistles are just slightly different in Rumble Studio. In fact, I had to completely redo the banner up top because Rumble Studio breaks images, their image map up into 6 quadrants, whereas in StreamYard you could just upload one overlay and it just expands it to the whole screen. Okay, so we've got this McDonald's burger from 1995 is still perfectly intact. We've seen these stories throughout the years. We know that McDonald's doesn't decay and it's poison, right? But yeah, still looks. Now I don't know. That doesn't look as much like a hamburger. Immortal Quarter Pounder. Okay, but all of that because to connect that story to this one in related news, Morgan Spurlock, the documentary filmmaker behind Super Size Me, has died at age 53. Now, look, I know that a lot of people on Twitter and on the internet believe that that his death may have been connected to medical treatments that he received. But I did, find it funny that, as we're talking about these hamburgers, uh, that that the guy known for eating them for every meal for a documentary has now passed away at a younger age. So yeah, I mean, he's kind of known for putting poison in his body, right? Be careful what you put in your body, folks. What do we have here? Okay. All right. Also in the news is this video. Let's go ahead and watch this video of rapper Nicki Minaj.
Tell me again.
The police officer told me we have to offload all the luggage
Okay.
and to search everything
Okay.
of your luggage.
Okay, so we just got done a little bit ago talking about the issues with Nick Rekieta and the Rekieta household. That took place at the Rekieta home, right? Police got a search warrant. They came in, they raided the home, they beat down the door, and then they searched. So you have certain rights, necessarily not to be searched at home without a warrant. But taking drugs on a plane and entering another country is a really fucking bad idea. And, you had the whole Brittany Griner situation, which, luckily that individual was able to fucking get out of it. It only cost us a fucking merchant of death. But Nicki Minaj, what the fuck are you thinking here?
I'm so sorry to say that.
But isn't that what you planned on doing from the get-go? Why didn't you guys search it before it went on the plane?
They did just a random quick check, but now they want to open
Why?
it. And first of all, because you filmed him and he was like...
Because I filmed him.
Uh-oh.
Where am I going? For what? For what? Why am I going here?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You're under arrest. I'm the police officer. I'm the deputy of the public prosecutor. We will bring you to the police station. Yes?
For what?
You can go because you are carrying drugs.
I'm not carrying drugs.
Okay, but it's not a question here. I think it's...
I'm not
smart to
carrying
go
drugs.
inside.
Number one, when I came here,
Yeah.
the
Okay,
back.
you can go inside.
No, I'm not going in there. I need a lawyer present.
You will get a lawyer.
Yeah,
So I need a lawyer.
That's not how it
present
works in Amsterdam.
Okay, please.
Where am I going? I have no idea where I'm going.
Yeah, they don't have a Fifth Amendment. They don't have
what
Miranda.
address is that?
It's 5 minutes away.
It's
They
5 minutes.
texted it.
What's the address of the police precinct?
Fifi, I think it might have been
You,
private.
We'll get you next show.
I'm not sure,
do
though.
it very fast, and we will help. But
You're talking about my show?
yes,
What about it?
yeah, we
He
talk.
said they will help to try to get you there.
They'll help to try to get me to my
Yes.
show.
Yeah, okay,
How?
so they're still working with her.
do
They're
it
being so
as soon as
fucking
possible.
polite.
But we
What
can.
am I doing?
But she's mad because
What am
she
I
went
doing?
to
I never
Amsterdam
gave
to do some
anyone.
drugs
I never. So I'm under
and
arrest.
brought some with her.
But under arrest for what?
Stop filming now.
I'm under arrest for what?
Okay.
Do you
Stop
know what
filming
happened
now.
when I came
You have
here?
to go inside.
Huh? What you
Jesus.
said?
Some people just can't accept what's happening.
No, I need a lawyer, because I don't know where I'm going.
You will get a lawyer at the office. You can contact the lawyer, but if you just step in the car, then it will go as fast as possible.
And who's going in this vehicle?
You step
You will go with.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. So yeah, don't get busted with drugs, folks. Addiction's fucked up. Addiction's fucked up. Let's get into some viral videos. I saw this. I'm not sure how viral. This is from an account that typically posts some old shit. But I did think that this was important to talk about after the special stream last night, uh, with talking about single mothers. Because the value one puts on a relationship is pretty important. Sanglan 86 says, "When did Amsterdam get drug laws?" It's not necessarily a drug law; it's a trafficking law. Like, just because you can have them and use them in Amsterdam doesn't mean you get to fly across their border with them. They get to tax that shit, right? I mean, I think that's the whole point of drugs being illegal in places, is so those places could then tax them and regulate them to some degree. They don't want people just bringing heroin in and then fucking ODing on their shores and then having to pay to, investigate and bury people and not getting any kind of financial benefit out of it. All right. So this woman has some regrets in a way here. So let's listen to what she has to say.
If you are in a relationship with someone who you want to be with forever, then please listen to this so you don't make the same mistakes I did and lose that person. No relationship is perfect. Every relationship has its problems, its fights, its issues, and sometimes those are problems that are reoccurring that have just never been resolved. But like, listen to this. If you guys are fighting and you can't figure out like why you can't get on the same page, then this is what you do. Take your feelings in the way you feel you've been hurt and take that and shove it aside. This is not about you right now. Chances are somehow you've hurt your partner too, and they want you to hear them and you want them to hear you. So you have to put your feelings
I
aside
don't know.
and you have to actually put yourself into their head. Now, once you're in their head,
Now
think
that I
of the
can
way
agree
that
with.
you acted in a situation, something you said, an action you did, and then think about, based on your action, how would they have felt? I want you to really feel it. Like, this is not just like, put yourself in their shoes. Like, I need you to feel it. Feel that emotion.
That
Feel
is
their
literally
pain.
impossible.
And if you both
That is
do that,
literally
then you can
impossible.
finally get in a place where you understand each other's pain and
Now,
you can
empathy is possible.
you can make up.
Empathy is possible, but especially when things have been rough, right? When there is trauma happening, you can have empathy and you can steel man another person's position to some degree, but you can't take yourself out of your role and put yourself into their role. Cookie. Oh yes. Yeah, sometimes these clips we show on here can get pretty shrieky.
You can forgive and you can let go. Just if you cannot do this, those reoccurring issues will keep coming and they will never get resolved, and the anxiety and stress will build and build and build until there's nothing left to give for either of you. Don't let these stupid fights make you lose the thing that you love the most in the world. It's not worth it, I promise. Put your feelings aside, empathize with your partner, and just love them. Literally just love them. Like, please stop fucking fighting and just love each other.
Yeah. Because you see, part of the issue with this, right, is when people have these fights. When people have these fights, they often one partner will just shut down, right? One partner will just shut down, and there's won't be a lot of conversation about what's actually wrong with the relationship. And the ability to love and the ability to solve problems, once somebody has shut down, um, the communication's dead. Like, there's no saving it. And a person could be legitimately trying to be a better person, but the root problem never got addressed. And so then it almost comes off as cocky, right? Like, look, I'm trying to love you. Just fucking accept my love. And then the hurt feelings get doubled down upon. So the best thing a person can do is empathize and say, look, I don't know what's going on, but we have to talk. The problem is about half the time you try to have those conversations, someone's already banging somebody new, right? somebody's already given up on the relationship. They got one foot out the door and they're literally just trying to buy some time to get their belongings and get the fuck out. Anyway, sorry. Little projection there. Little history insight into the history of Mild and his crazy relationships. Sangling 86 says crack their head open and stir around. Yeah, she did say that, did she? Sounds a little creepy. So folks, well, when I was fishing around for a topic to talk about today, I ran across this next video. And I've had some conversations with some friends of mine about how much we want to do the right thing and how our culture makes it literally impossible. And how, other cultures don't necessarily do the kind of things we do. And, you know, it wouldn't be a problem, right? Because I don't want to be like every other country in the world. But it wouldn't be a problem if there was logic to it. But I saw this shit. I saw this shit and it set me off. Set me off because I have a personal beef with Sonic Drive-In. Let's watch this video. So first off, this comment here on the screen, you're supposed to tip at Sonic. That's always been a thing. Look, when I was a kid, they had the car hops. They'd come out in roller skates, and my family members, they'd give them $1. Of course, that was before inflation got so crazy. My family members would give them $1. Because you're getting this service. Anyway, we'll get back. No tip. She's trying to click $0. Nothing's happening. 0. No tip. Finally, it works. No, it didn't. There it goes.
Ridiculous.
Okay, so Fifi says tips ended when the skates ended. Yeah, to some degree. I mean, look, I frequently had gone into Sonic in the fucking 115-degree weather, pardon my language, Cookie, in the 115-degree weather and got a lemonade or something. And, I would feel bad that the car hop would have to then come out in the heat and deliver me my soda while I'm sitting in an air conditioning car. So no, I still tipped. But I have since sworn off Sonic, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I was using the app. They always have the dang half price drinks in the app, and I would always try to use the app just to get better deals, whatever. And I would order online. I'd pay online. I pay for everything in advance, and then you roll up. You pull into a stall. You enter the stall number in your phone or whatever, and then they're supposed to just bring you your food. Right? They're just supposed to bring you whatever you put in there. And in the app, there is this same screen, at $1, add a custom tip or keep the change, or $2, $1, $2 custom tip or keep the change. As Sangland 86 says, cherry lime slush for the win. I do know they got some really good cherry limeades. I've never tried the slush and probably never will at this point. Because, I would always do that. And then like 3 times I would go at around, 9 p.m., not exactly closing time, but, kind of late at night. I'd pull in, I'd enter the number, and then I'd sit there, and nobody would come. I would sit there for literally 30 minutes, and I'd watch the little screen. It'd say, your order is in the kitchen or whatever. And then I would just sit there, and it would never move. And so I'd sit there about 15, 20 minutes, and then I'd start pushing the button, and then nobody would answer the button. And then I just would realize, oh, okay, you're completely being ignored. Nobody's going to come. And by this time, I've already paid. I've already tipped, right? And then I would have to wait until the next business day to call their corporate office and ask for a refund. and they would give me the runaround and tell me, wait 3 days and make sure that I don't get a charge back on my credit card. And then I'd wait 3 days, of course, nothing charged back, and then I'd have to call them back and demand a refund. And a couple times they did, and another time I literally had to just call my credit card company and cancel the charge. So I don't go to Sonic anymore for this reason. Now, what happens if I go up and I do all this that they're doing, and then I swipe my card there? Same thing, same thing. But I also have noticed over the last couple years, a lot of people are complaining about the DoorDash tipping, right? And then you have Uber and Lyft and all of these apps, right? Where you schedule a service and then you're supposed to include the tip before you receive the service. Kevin in ABQ says, I've had the same problem at Sonic, same time of day issue. I do have an issue that there are a lot of fast food restaurants near me that are just ran by stoners and they never get the food right. But the Sonics I've been to, that they aren't the stoner neighborhoods like in my neighborhood. So I'm not sure what the problem is. But anyway, I found a couple of videos of the DoorDash tipping situations, and I wanted to highlight. Definitely tip your DoorDash drivers, tip your servers, tip even your Sonic car hops. You definitely want to tip them, but I've now made it a point to where I go to the bank. Like I have automatic deposits, right? And I could do everything with my plastic, but I go to the bank every pay period and get like $50 and I get them broke down. I get, money broke down. So I've got some ones in my wallet just for that situation. But this is why I no longer do DoorDash. I no longer do these food delivery services, and I no longer do Sonic. Singlet says fast food is always cash only. They don't keep people long enough to trust them with credit card numbers. Oh, yeah. And then Kevin in ABQ says, I'm more perturbed over Subway wanting a tip for my order just because I'm paying with a credit card. Yep. Oh, I meant to unpin and pinned a different one. Okay, so let's watch this DoorDash here. Sounds like it's Independence Day. Either that or he's got a really weird ringtone on his phone.
Hi.
Hello.
Come here, Max. Next.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just want to say it's a nice house for a $5 tip.
Okay, so this one went viral about a year ago. Nice house for a $5 tip. Yeah, he's not wrong. But at the same time, I do know you're able to increase the tip in some of these apps after the fact. I don't know if DoorDash is one. But I thought I remembered that you are able to add a tip after your shit's delivered. So we got another one, same deal. He's gonna call. But this is why I don't use these apps anymore. Because I should be able to just tip you after the fucking fact. And if you provided me with good service and you brought everything you were supposed to bring, I'll give you an even better tip. The problem is we have a certain number of people in our culture who will just never tip. But this is kind of the point, is you have these Door Dashers and these people, they're so used to people not tipping. They're so used to people not tipping that now they have to kind of expect it ahead of time in order to somehow get one over on their customer. Gratuity, the whole idea of gratuity was to elicit the best service you very well could get, right? That could be a babysitter or house watcher. Yeah. Yeah. You don't know who's ordering the pizza there. Could be one of the kids' friends. But it's at some point in time, tipped income became a part of our tax code, became a part of our labor laws, right? To where now, we don't have to give you quote unquote minimum wage, which don't even get me started on how much of a scam a minimum wage is. But it has grown in the time of the minimum wage conversation. It's now grown to where, oh, you're now expected to tip and tip before, right? And you're expected to tip in areas where you're not even getting service. I went to a donut shop, a fucking donut shop, about 3 weeks ago. And they had these like sausage rolls. I'm like, okay, first of all, meat at a donut shop? This is blowing my fucking mind. And so I ordered one. And then they gave it to me and said, oh, yeah, the microwave's over there. I'm like, what? A fucking microwave? And I'd already stuck my card in the machine and added a 20% tip. And then she tells me, oh, yeah, the microwave's over there. Oh my. We've got Demon's Wrath over on Rumble. I've never used DoorDash or any of these apps. Consider yourself lucky. A lot of us who live in these fucking lockdown states during COVID, it was the only way we could get food that we weren't cooking ourselves. Got Billdozer74 in the chat. What's up, y'all? Good seeing you both. Cheers. Again, not drinking whiskey because of all of the addiction news stories out there. And Kevin and ABQ has a good point here. If you're going to tip cash, and for service, more for better service. If you can't afford to tip, there's always the grocery store. Yeah. But here's the other thing. No, kind of get a handle of your surroundings, right? There are definitely some times where I've been at a restaurant and I've gotten like shitty food, really shitty food, but my server was amazing and got everything to me and was very apologetic. And like, I'm not going to make that server's kids suffer because the fucking cook in the back making $3 more an hour is a piece of shit. So this is where I'm getting with the guilt conversation. So now I've got to worry about whether or not the server, like, I'm just there to get a burger, right? And now I got to worry that this server's kid is going to get dinner tonight if I don't fucking tip well. And I know that other people aren't going to tip her well because this cook is a piece of shit. Because the bartender won't get the drinks out to her quick enough. Now she's going to have a shitty day and her kids might not have a decent meal tonight. Bill Dozer says, yeah, don't tip machines. And that's just it. We need to start coming up with rules. We're coming up with movements, right? I don't use a service that asks me for a tip before I get the service. That's my new rule. After seeing the videos we just saw and dealing with the stuff I've dealt with at places like Sonic and this donut shop, I no longer tip before I get the service. And yes, always try to use cash. But again, they ask for a tip everywhere. You go to a coffee shop, you have to tip way before you get the coffee. which, you know, again, carry cash. You get the cash, you put the cash in your pocket, then you got to wait. But then you run the risk of, well, that barista just saw you place your order and not put money in the kitty. And now they're going to make your coffee and they might make it sloppy and shitty. And hey, if they do, they don't deserve a tip. But maybe they would have if you had put some money in there. And you always got this game of chicken going on in your head. When the original intent was to get good service and then provide them with a bonus. Evie says, fundamentally, I'm more of a Mr. Pink when it comes to tipping. I don't agree with the idea that it's my problem your job doesn't pay you enough. Yeah, I know. But like I said, I got really good service from that waitress at that restaurant. Really good service. Unfortunately, the food sucked and the drinks took forever to get a refill because she had to take the cup all the way back, wait for the fucking bartender to get done flirting with whoever's sitting at his bar, come over, refill the drink. It sucks. Yes, there you go, Kevin and ABQ. The Starbucks app, you could pay in the app and you have 3 hours to tip. That's how all of these apps should be. You should be able to tip after you get the service. Yeah, good service gets good tips. And we need to, as a society, demand such things. And we need to make it just common knowledge, right? You know, there's the whole joke. In fact, I got a coworker who frequently makes this joke, and I've seen it in memes too, where you know you roll up to a freeway overpass, right? You're getting off the highway on that exit, and you roll up to a freeway overpass, and there's a homeless panhandler there holding a sign, right? And then so you hand him $1, and then he flips the sign over and says, you know, tip for good service. And then you have to tip the homeless guy on top of the donation you gave him. That's the other crazy thing is all of these crowdfunding and donation services that are like, "Oh, would you like to add a tip for the crowdfunding service?" Like, just add it to your fees, folks. No, I don't want to tip. And I guess there's a joke that's been going around where I guess someone tried to pay for their rent, right? And when they went to pay their rent, the thing said, you know, would you like to tip your landlord? Tipping the landlord. Craziness. All right. So now that I've talked about tipping, let's go back to older women and regrets. I meant to save the earlier clip for this part of the show, and I'm sorry I didn't. I was kind of rushed. Had a bathroom break, took a little longer than intended. Sorry for the TMI, but yeah, I was a little rushed there to get the show going. Yes, Kevin, you're correct. Handlers have a Venmo QR code on their signs, and they also have their Cash App handle. You know, welcome to the age of the Obama phone, right? Where the government will give people with no income a smartphone. Off a cliff. All right. So let's listen to this woman talk about dating in her 30s.
What's your age?
I'm 30.
You single?
I am.
Do you think it's a red flag that you're single at 30?
Maybe to some people. I'd had a long-term relationship for a while up until like a couple years ago. So I think that for some people that have a very antiquated sense of romance and modern dating, it's possible they could see it as a red flag.
So why did you end that relationship?
Because we met when I was 19 and
Ooh.
I grew into somebody that was very different than who I was at 19 years old. And the partner that I would have chosen at 28 was much different than the person that I had chosen at 19.
And how long was
a
this
long
prior
relationship.
relationship?
8 years. It was just a matter of falling out of love and being somebody new and
It happened.
just wanting to explore life as an individual versus always being tied to somebody.
How do you approach dating now, being that your 8-year relationship has ended?
It's not going to be just anybody. It's going to be the right person because I'm extremely content being single and I have a certain level of peace that is, I'm not willing to sacrifice that.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that lady. Like she seems real smart. Oh, Demon's Wrath might have a point here. 7-year itch. She wanted to hoe. Yeah, it does sound like it. But this is the thing. This is part of the issue with modern dating, right? Is the 7-year itch exists. It exists for all, right? For every relationship with every gender. We are definitely, there's that whole scientific study that, all of the cells in your body replace after 7 years, and therefore you're a completely different person. I think that's a shitty excuse. I think that's a shitty excuse not to honor the commitments you have made to a person. But, I would like to say that despite some animosity, my marriage ended pretty cordial, and I view it as a successful relationship. A relationship doesn't have to last forever to be successful. Now, granted, if you're going to marry somebody, that's kind of the point, right? That's kind of the intent. But yeah, if it's mutual, if you both have just decided, yeah, this isn't working, let's go about our separate ways. But you're still an awesome person, and it is what it is. All right, let's go to one more of these. One more of these. I have not watched this yet, but I saw the words on the screen here, and I just added it to my bookmarks for the show. So let's see what she's talking about. At age 57, she has a list of deal breakers.
I'm adding to my list of deal breakers while dating in my 50s. Leave me a comment. Tell me if you think I've.
Wait a minute, Fifi. I thought the 7-year itch was more of an evolutionary. That's one about kids are more able to survive on their own type of thing. No, no. I've always heard of it as that's when like wives get bored and husbands retreat to the football and the car repair. Anyway, let's get back to this shit.
In my 50s, leave me a comment. Tell me if you think I've gone crazy or if I'm being too picky. All based on situations.
I will already tell you, you're too picky. I mean, granted, for age 57, she's gorgeous, right? Right? She's pushing 60 and she's still, looks pretty goddamn gorgeous.
I have experienced.
But
I understand 1 or 2 ex-wives. It's a deal breaker after 3 and 4 and 5 ex-wives.
oh, why is that? See, this is the thing. I have no problem with deal breakers, but like there's got to be a reason, right? Like, did you meet a guy who had 4 ex-wives and he was just a complete creepo or something?
I know it's always her fault. I get that. I understand. I hear you. That's a big no for me. 2, you're still living?
I mean, but look, if a guy's picker is so broken, he's been with 4 broken women and then he picked you, like his picker is consistent, right? That must say something about you, not your deal breaker. Anyway, now I'm just justifying shitty behavior by men, and I'm not trying to do that, but on the same token, it does seem a little sus. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with having a few ex-wives. I've only got 1, but
With your ex-wife? And you want to date me? I know what you're going to say.
wait a minute.
You split up, you got divorced, the housing market was really tough. No, I'm good. The third one, I have really personally wrestled.
Okay, so now that to me is just jealousy. You just don't want another woman in his life. I mean, now it sounds like, she has including kids on here, but, obviously someone who's a father is going, in a broken home there, they're going to have some sort of contact with their ex just as parents. And that must be why she's about to.
Wrestled with. But I finally reached the point where I put this on my list of deal breakers. I've raised my kids, they're all in their 20s, and I don't want to go back to assisting a man I'm dating with raising their minor child. Men I'm dating are in their 50s and they have kids who are under the age of 10. And that's great for them. It just doesn't work for me. What do you think? Am I being too harsh?
Yes, legitimately. I don't know though. I mean, look, like I said, for pushing 60, she's not bad looking. But again, I'd have to ask, okay, well then what do you bring to the table? You know, there's clips like this, videos like this. There's a lot of information that's not said, right? Well, what trauma has caused you to feel this way? Anyway, y'all ready for Love Don't Judge? We ready to do Love Does Admonish here? Right? Are we ready to admonish some people in love? One's in the chat if you're ready to admonish people in love. Okay, let's bring it up here. We have, my boyfriend is 51. Do I have daddy issues? Love Don't Judge.
This is Sarah. She fell in love with Violent J, otherwise known as Joe.
I rap as one half of the Insane Clown Posse.
I do OnlyFans.
I was on Instagram flipping through. Every time I saw a hottie,
Oh shit, I didn't see that coming. Oh my fucking god. Fucking ICP. Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh man. This is, oh god damn. Whoop whoop. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my god. I can't stop laughing. I just gotta play the video.
I hit follow. She was like one of my top 2 favorite hotties.
Sarah has
Top
always
two
had a
hotties.
preference for older men,
I may or may not have daddy issues.
which has caused some to question her intentions with Joe.
This guy wrote Freaks of Nature and sick if you ask me, and is probably fake for publicity. You and your dad look so good together. It's disgusting.
My friend Rudy is coming over. He's gonna meet Sarah for the first time. Rudy is controversial. He ain't like what she's doing.
She does this fans only thing and, you know, showing themselves off to some weirdos.
Okay, does she drink Faygo though?
So what's your intentions with my homeboy, man? Like, do you love Joe?
My name is Sarah Rusi, and I'm 30 years old.
My name is Violent J, and I'm 32. No, I'm kidding. I'm 51.
I may or may not have daddy issues.
I rap as Violent J, one half of the Insane Clown Posse. We
Okay,
paint our faces.
but, oh my god. Okay, so right off the bat, I may have daddy issues. Okay, so you picked an old man, but you picked an old man who has the personality of a 19-year-old going through fucking problems with his puberty. Like, this isn't daddy issues, right? This is brother issues. Oh, demon's wrath. He's got a furry daughter. Kevin and ABQ says, "Oh, she's an OnlyFans girl." Yeah, many such cases. I think that's where Love Don't Judge gets most of their content is through content creators on OF and the TikTok.
Obviously.
I think the first time I saw the face paint was a little weird for me. I was kind of scared. I don't really mind the face paint now, but I prefer them without the face paint.
Everybody always wants to see without it. I don't understand why, you know. Everybody needs to back off the face paint. This is how I look. I was on Instagram flipping through, and I would see all these hotties every time
No
I
wonder
saw
he
a
has a
hottie, I
furry
hit
daughter.
follow. I was single in my life, you know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at hotties all day. She was like one of my top 2 favorite hotties. Anyway, so one day I sent
Ethan Van Sciver needs to do him for Halloween one
Yeah,
year.
I wasn't even following him, but I saw the blue check mark, and that kind of caught my attention.
That blue check mark.
I told him I had a boyfriend. I broke up with my boyfriend.
Come on, man. Let's
Right.
keep it real. The Duke was on his way to town like a 90
Shout out to the
megaton
blue
freight
check.
train. I was like, this is mine now. I just put my claim on it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is my new real estate. I'm moving the in.
So we've gotten a lot of judgment for our relationship.
so
The
when
first
I'm
time
in
I
my
posted
50s,
a
I
photo
could
of
just
me and him on
claim a woman.
Facebook, it got over 1,000 comments. A lot of the criticism that we've gotten is because of the age difference and because of who he is.
Looking all hot. You look good too, babe. I'm happy for you, Sarah. That's nice.
Yeah, but there's some mean comments. This guy wrote, freaks of
Again-
nature and sick if you ask me, and is probably fake for publicity. Get with someone your own age. If this is real, it's disgusting.
Why you hating, Debbie? What do you mean it's disgusting?
You do all this for views and clicks. You aren't fooling anybody.
Thank you. Well spoken. The words of a poet. Sound like the wise man on the mountain.
You and your dad look so good together. And with the lighting, you look like you have matching hair.
Yes.
Such a heartwarming father-daughter pic.
Oh my God, that was brilliant. Nice little girl.
This is insanity.
That was
I'm like
funny, though.
speechless.
She
I'm
tried
sitting
me.
here watching a
Somebody
train
wrote,
wreck.
you love old people.
Like, what's up with the
They got you
glove?
pegged, babe.
Nothing that anybody said made me think that he was a bad guy or anything like that.
You know, I know ICP were really big into pro wrestling, but this is pro wrestling kayfabe levels of just ridiculousness.
I've gotten a lot of judgment for my previous relationships when I did the past Love Don't Judges.
Oh, she
I
did another
expected that anyway.
Okay.
Well, now you got yourself a clown, so you're doing a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't live anything in my life by what other people are gonna think. You know what I mean? I got nothing to hide.
I
He
don't
likes to go to
judge.
strip clubs.
If
I
we
mean,
don't-
I know that he like doesn't
But I
go
might
for
admonish.
to hit on the women.
I go for the food.
What? What?
Oh
Babe,
shit!
nothing.
Demons rap.
Me and the
Fucking
boys, you
shots
know,
fired.
we get out of a concert, it's midnight, we go to strip clubs. That's just where we go. I'm a clown. I'm unconventional,
this is
but she's
ridiculous.
learned to be
You-
okay
you
with
know
it. And
this
I'm doing the
didn't
same.
last, did
I'm
it?
all about OnlyFans. Let me
Single
be
86
clear
says
about
she's
that. A
PC
chance to
so
make
cool.
money, you know, I'm all about it. But when it's your woman,
Now I gotta
it just
Google this
gets
shit.
real suspect. All that direct communication was hard because that's her business, though.
Joe would prefer that I do something else for a living. Like he said, it's very hard for him. It's asking for a lot, which I can understand. A lot
that
of
doesn't
men
look
probably
anything
feel
like
that way, that what they have should be exclusive,
her.
and I understand that. But he's been really supportive in a lot of ways. He was always sending me reels for inspiration
shit.
for what I should do for more content.
I just
Well, I
need
don't
that
hook
one.
up with guys on my OnlyFans, but I do hook up with girls on my OnlyFans.
Mhm. You get to go hook up with all the hotties you want because it's your job. You know, I'm a rock star, so my job to hotties too. You know what I'm saying? At least once in a while with you, since this is your whole profession. If you were cooking spare ribs for a profession, you can't throw me a plate once in a while.
It's something I'm considering.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
very jealous, though.
Today, my friend Rudy
Oh,
is
shit.
coming over.
Oh, shit, folks.
Long time friend. He's gonna meet Sarah for the first time.
Rudy is controversial in every way, shape, or form. That's not always in a good way, though. Let me be honest. He ain't like what she's doing, though. He's old school as
So the things I've heard about Sarah, she does this fans only thing, showing themselves off to some weirdos
Fans only
somewhere
thing.
across the United States or around the world. I do know Joe Bruce. When he gives his all 100%. So if he has to give his all to someone else who's showing her all, that's
Yeah, I
going to be
wouldn't doubt
kind of
that.
difficult. I'm just worried that Joe might be flavor of the month. All right, Sarah, I'm finally getting to meet you, which is really cool. But I sure would like to know something more about you. I've heard about the fans only stuff that you've done. And
Oh, you heard about that?
what's really going on? Is my homie just flavor of the month, or is this like the real deal?
No, it's the real deal. I really like him a lot, and I hope that we have a long-term relationship.
Do you love Joe?
man. We ain't on that word up in here.
I didn't ask you.
We haven't like said that yet.
Okay.
He's
I
like,
mean, but
if she
I
is,
just
I don't
said,
want to know.
what are your feelings? You got feelings like that? It's not algebra.
I have a lot of feelings for him. Yeah.
Good. Well, that means a lot because this is my best friend, man. He has feelings, and I know his feelings.
This is
And
a
I
joke,
just
man.
want
This is such
the
a
best
joke.
for my friend. He told me, man, what a cool, special girl you are.
Aww.
Real talk. So, bro, man, how are you going to make this work?
It's asking a lot of any man. I think she understands that, though. She'll be like, oh, I got some girls meet me in the guest house. But, bro, it's like, it's a career. It's a job. She hustles every day. She has to get up,
You
look
guys
for
are
a
all-
location, go to get tan, go to get her nails done, her toes did. And the last thing I want to do is meet her and change who she is.
I get that.
I
And
want to
most
spend money on
importantly,
her, and she
since
wants
you're
to
out having
spend
sex
my
with all these
money.
beautiful women, throw me a bone. You know what I'm saying?
Can we get tagged in?
That's right. Can I get the hot tag?
What I love most about him, I think, is probably his sense of humor. He's really funny. He makes me laugh. Like, we have a lot of fun when we go out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we want to
It's
work
loads of
towards
fun.
moving in together at some point.
The problem is, when is it time to get serious?
Hottie. It smiles really dope.
When is it time to actually have some
There's a lot I love about
emotion?
Sarah. I'm happier, you know, and I ain't got much life left. You know what I'm saying? That's the key. Be happy.
All right. So, 6 months ago, over on Reddit /r/Juggalo, we had this here. Violent J and Sarah split. So it looks like they may have split up. Always gotta love it. Always gotta love it. So yeah, that was 6 months ago. How old is this? This was the video was 10 months ago. So yeah, probably lasted a good, 5 months maybe. Craziness. Kevin ABQ says, yeah, my shocked face. Is this guy a complete gooner? Aside from her being an OnlyFans hoe, what does she offer? She doesn't look like she's a riveting conversationalist. No. But she's got a couple big assets on the front and an asset on the back. And, all the things that would make a guy want to watch her content. Yeah. Obviously, when you have a guy who's living his pro wrestling kayfabe dream as a rapper, 7-month age. Oh man, Kevin, you're awesome. That is great. Sangolin says, yeah, she knows he's clocking out at 60. Definitely, the celebrity lifestyle, the juggalo, you can only drink so much Fago before you wind up in an addiction situation. All right, folks. Well, that's going to be the show for today. I got to go do some grocery shopping so that I don't have to eat at Sonic. Definitely don't want to eat at Sonic ever again. So I got to do some grocery shopping. Folks, if you can, before you leave, click that thumbs up button. If you're new here, please click the follow or subscribe, depending on which of the 6 platforms you happen to be watching me on. Are they based out of Detroit? I think so, yeah. Because I know they had that beef with Eminem. Yeah, formed in Detroit in 1989, according to the Wikipedia. Don't tip the grocer. Yeah, I saw a meme about that too, where the auto checkout was asking for a tip. Fago is gross, by the way. I think there are a couple of decent flavors. Of course, they have the weird like electric blue cotton candy. I'm kind of partial to cotton candy flavors, but yeah, most of them are gross. Definitely not into the root beer or the what's the one, the orange. The orange is just gross when so much other stuff exists. All right, but yeah, please click the like button. If you're new here, please click the follow. Also, if you're new, feel free to watch a second video. You know, I do a lot of live streams, cover a lot of topics, and like to keep things mixed up on every single show here. And I've also done quite a few special shows, including the one I did last night about single moms and addiction. Separately, they weren't addicted single moms. They were just, I did half the show on single moms, half the show on addiction. So feel free to check that out. I should be back at some point on Monday. Not sure what time of day. Kind of got some plans during the day. And also, it depends on whether or not it rains in Kansas City tomorrow, because I had planned on making a trip up to the city and taking in the city. And if that does not work out, then I will be doing that on Monday instead. But yeah, so I'm not quite sure what time. The best thing you could do is follow me on all the platforms below, and then you'll have an update on when I will be going live on Monday. I'll also try to let people know in Mercatus chat when I'm going live on Monday. So feel free to follow me on those platforms. Until next time, Thingland86 says, no Chris Chan orange cream soda. No, but I'm thinking about buying one of those medallions. I don't know if they exist somewhere, but I'm thinking about trying to get one. I want to prove the curse wrong. I want to prove the curse wrong. Anyway, folks, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast those haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. I'll catch you next time on Miles Culture Plate. Have a wonderful evening, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.